All right, we're live, babe. Hey guys, how you doing? It's the Honeydew Carpenter and the always beautiful Mrs. Honeydew Carpenter, and we are coming live to you from our Aircrete laboratory. We're super excited. We just got through pouring 14 cubic yards of cement. We poured a slab inside what we call the lean-to end of the barn, which is just adjacent, right beside our Aircrete shipping container.
Hold on a second, because with all the cement in here, it echoes. How bad is the echo on your guys' end? Do we need to move? Please, and let us know, okay? So sorry to interrupt.
Oh, no, you're fine. But the slab is 38 feet by approximately 30 feet wide, so we have a huge flat area that we're going to be able to put tools on and working space where I'll be able to build the frames for the overhead doors and the doors and windows for the shipping container. And we're just over the moon.
Right. All right, let's check and see if our echo is doing okay. Awesome, guys, and good morning. Hey, Jeff. Kenny Bean says, hey, from East Washington. Sounds good, no echo. That's really good, thank
Okay,
you.
perfect.
Beaver Creek Farm says it's okay, and not much echo. And Kulo wants to know where his brick tutorial is.
Oh,
You know, it is coming, but there is a list of things that have to be done within a certain amount of time, and one of them is getting a spot ready to be able to work and do those things.
every time I wanted to go ahead and start a project and do one, whether it was put the doors and the windows in of the shipping container or whatnot, you have to build these big angle iron frames to tack into place. And I needed a big flat space to do it. And every time we went and we were thinking about doing some Aircrete projects, doing the Aircrete blocks and whatnot, tutorials in the shipping container, with our benches that are about 2 feet wide and whatnot, there's just such a small, tiny space in there to work. We just decided to go ahead and do this first. And Jeff, I know you said hello, so hello back to you. You were concerned on a comment you did that the 3-inch deep slab we did here wouldn't be sufficient to hold my tow motor forklift. And you're right, it does weigh 7,600 pounds, so it is a heavy piece of equipment. But I cut this out, the ground, I cut, gosh, I don't know, probably 20 cubic yards of earth out of here, put pit run and road base down, compacted it, and then instead of making the slab 3 inches, we made it 5 inches thick, and we put reinforcement double layer throughout the whole thing. So I think we'll be good.
Right, we will be good. Beaver Creek Farm put our Etsy shop on there, so thank you for doing that. That's awesome. And he put our email, which is honeydewcarpenter1@gmail.com. So thank you, Beaver Creek Farm. You're awesome. Romer says, good morning from Minnesota. Minnesota.
Wow.
Right. Kulo says, good save. Jeff Krupke says, nice for casting Aircrete panels too. Yes, we do have some room to be able to do some stuff now on a nice flat surface, so we are really, really excited.
Why don't we turn the camera away from this wall or I don't know if you could get behind it or not, or you could just look at it and I'll walk around the slab. The one we poured yesterday is a little bit darker than the one we poured the previous day, but
So you want me to move the camera? Okay, guys, we're gonna jiggle and move a little bit. How's that, babe? It's all bright and sunny.
oh,
Can't see some of it.
but
Wow, baby, you got so small.
I don't know. It's like 38 feet, so It's a nice big slab. We poured the center of it last, just logistically to get the concrete trucks in here. We had to, we split the 38 feet into 3 sections so that we could screed the concrete and then smooth it out. And the only way we were going to be able to do that was to divide it into 3 parts. And we just did the center last, so we just held the board on the one we did the previous day and just screeded it. And
Right.
it worked out good. The whole thing, and thank you, William Craig, is on a time-lapse video. And so when we get done putting in some equipment and whatnot, we'll pull down the data off those time-lapse cameras, and you'll get to see us digging out, 8-10 inches of earth, putting in the road mix and the pit run base, compacting it, putting in the reinforcement, the framing for the forms and everything. And so it'll be a pretty cool video, and it'll be a time lapse.
And check, Bob Davis says your echoing is fine here in the Great White North. Bigot. Jeff Krupke says, oh, awesome, sounds strong. Kulo says, I'm just being lazy. Should be able to make one from the videos you have.
Oh,
You're giving us a hard time.
No, he's absolutely right though. I have been touting this back to basics, which we need to get started on, and just go back to basics and start and just show people some basic. This is how you make an aircrete block, and we'll just do it in a small batch with 5-gallon buckets, something easy, simple, that anybody can get started at that level doing these small projects that they want to do, whether it be planners or whatnot. And then I'll get into some of the more intricate stuff like building forms and making blocks for like retaining walls. One of my main projects that I am excited about getting started on in this shop is a pumping situation to pump aircrete. And I have one drawn up and an invention for it. And what I really like about it is it's something that can be used almost anywhere, and it's made with easily accessible stuff that people throw away. And even in like third world countries, it'll be something that there will be some ideas there for them that they could use to do it. So
Also, if you guys are wondering, our lean-to that we just poured all the cement in is right next to our shipping container, but we only have walls on 3 sides, so it's gonna still be open to a bunch of elements and everything like that. But it is still a wonderful working space, and we're super excited about that.
And we're really protected from the wind or anything in this. This was the dairy end of their barn when Melanie was a kid. This is where her dad would come and milk the cows on this end of the barn. And the prevailing wind is toward that wall.
Right behind us. I'm turning it again to get a little bit of the sun out so we're not so dark lit. That's a little bit better, I think.
Yeah. And this barn has always been kind of an open shell barn. I put the doors in behind us, and I put doors in on the other end of it, 5 years ago or so? And so this is going to be really cool. We have a 20-foot awning that we're going to put between the two. There will be a big overhead door, either a slide-in or a roll-up door, going right into the shipping container. And so we can pull stuff in and out of the shop really easy. There will be some windows, a door, and those are going to be some of the first things we're going to get started on.
Yeah, and we're super excited because we now have the plasma cutter to be able to cut into it a lot easier than your little, what were you going to use?
Oh, I was going to use just an abrasive rotary blade, steel blade on a 4.5-inch grinder, and I was just gonna chalk line it and just try and follow the line as best I could. Now what I'm gonna do, guys, is I'm gonna take the plasma cutter in gun, and I'm gonna create and build a little roller end for it so it holds the plasma cutter exactly the distance I want from the material, and it'll have 2 bearing rollers on it, and I can line those bearing rollers against a straight edge, whether it be angle iron or whatever, and I can just roll it down and just cut a perfectly straight line. So plasma cutters are what they use on a lot of different CNC machines and whatnot to cut out stuff.
Aimless Adventure says, good morning. I wish I could stay, but I'll watch later. Taking my little one to a boat to get wildlife content for the next video. Aimless Adventure, we understand, and have fun making that with your kids and getting pictures.
Guys, we opened these big doors when we were pouring this and let our toddlers, our 5, no, he's 4.
4 and 6.
Yeah, our 4 and 6-year-old, I don't even know how old my kids are, stand in there and watch this big truck nose up in there, and their eyes just got this big. They were just like, whoa, that's the biggest concrete truck ever. And so it was a lot of fun, and so we understand when it comes to kids, you gotta include them.
Kulo says, I just get spoiled from all my spoon-fed instructions that you do. Awesome. Well, thank you that he does good instructions. So thank you for saying that. Jeff Krupke says, wow, that makes that building so much more useful to have a nice floor. It really, really makes it really nice.
Jeff was out here and saw it when it was basically had about 8 more inches of dirt and probably a foot of manure, horse manure in here.
You did?
Yeah.
Were you careful?
Yeah.
Do you want to say hi to everyone? Say hi.
Hi.
Tell them that you got to see a concrete truck.
Hi.
Was it big?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was huge, huh?
But I got out a real cement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so Beaver Creek Farm says, I'm so glad things are coming together for y'all. Well, thank you. We're super excited. Terry Oak says, good morning from Alaska. Great to see your progress. I am really looking forward to Honeydew University. We are getting excited for that. We're putting things together, little steps here and there. So we are super excited about that too. And you'll be able to come and see this for yourself.
You know, guys, as part of the Kickstarter, those who contributed at a certain level to kind of make all this come to fruition and make it happen, part of the deal was their name was going to be entered in on a plaque that would go up on the wall of our aircrete lavatory. Initially, we thought the shipping container, but we're almost, the bricks in this barn, they were laid by Melanie's grandfather. And man, he died like, what, 15 years ago? But he built this barn 50 years ago. And I was thinking about coming in here, just power washing the whole thing out, maybe painting this ugly cinder block wall that separates the 2 sections of the barn with a back color that we could put our logo on, that we kind of showcased and showed you guys. And then these bricks, they're like a red and purplish color and then gray. And the way he configured them, it actually, when you spray water on them, they're really quite beautiful. And I was thinking about putting a nice finish on the brick wall and then stenciling the people's names on it and then sandblasting out their names in the bricks. And I don't know. You guys tell me what you think. I was also thinking about stamping them in the concrete, but it didn't happen.
Right, so we have a couple of different ideas, just putting them up on, some oak, like wood burning them on some oak and sticking them up. But we haven't decided exactly yet how we're gonna do it, so any ideas would be awesome too. Isabel says, good continuation from Montreal, French Canadian. Wow, well, hello. William Craig, you are an amazing man. Wow, thank you very, very much for that donation and for the little unexpected needs. Oh. William,
That's huge,
wow.
William.
Yes.
$100. Oh my God.
That is very, very huge, William. Wow.
Don't cry.
Everett says, good morning from first timer, Winnipeg, Canada. Hey, y'all. Well, hello, and we hope you're having a great day in Canada. And Jeff Krupke says, so happy for your plasma cutter. We are super happy about that, so thank you.
Right.
Edie Graywolf says, morning, guys. So morning. Jeff says, he is such a cutie.
That
Thank
plasma
you.
cutter, for people who maybe haven't seen the video or whatever, was donated to us by a really good friend of ours. And I mean,
He's an amazing guy.
He's an amazing guy, yeah.
We're meeting a lot of great people.
That's one of the serendipities that have come from doing this, a lot of the friendships that we've developed from different viewers. It's crazy.
All right, so Romer says you can use a simple straight edge tack welded to your wall and run the plasma tip up against that. Works slick. That's a lot what you're thinking of doing.
That's exactly what I was thinking of doing. I am gonna put I'm gonna clamp a set of rollers on the tip so that as I do it, it rolls and stays the exact same distance. Because I've seen people try and use a plasma cutter by hand, and if they get going too fast or whatever and it doesn't blow all the way through, it spits back and it kind of gives a jagged edge. I want the edge to just be perfect.
It will be, you're doing it. So what is the R value of 3-inch aircrete panels, and keep up the good work?
Just as, for instance, it depends on obviously the density and how aerated they are. But I did a little bit of calculating on that for our 4-inch wall panels that we put up. And I'm guessing it's around 2.5 to 3 Rs per inch. So we're running about 11, 12 Rs on the shop that I built last year for the grandparents. So
Jeff says that spray the bricks to give a wet look would be awesome. Well, thank you. And Terry Oak says, I could help with the sandblasting when I'm there for HDU. I haven't etched with sand blasting a lot.
Oh,
That's cool, Terry.
that's cool.
We'll have to keep that open as an idea,
Yeah, because that's something that isn't my area of expertise, is sandblasting.
right?
But Dana has one, and I'd be keen to see if he'd let me take a whack at it. I'm always up for learning something new.
Right. Do we have any more questions?
But we have a laser vinyl cutter that we have access to, right?
Laser vinyl cutter?
Yeah, the one that we etched our name on our cookware with acid.
Well, it's not a laser vinyl cutter. It's not laser at all.
Oh,
It's just Grandma does have a vinyl cutter, but she has little, I don't know how many little things she has. I know she has letters. So
oh,
yeah,
so
to cut out
letters.
vinyl. Yeah.
Yeah, then we could cut it out. put the stencil on the wall, sandblast it, and it would only etch.
This in my back.
Uh-oh, be careful, okay?
So let's see.
Okay, sorry about the kids. Our babysitter is off working and helping other people right now, so.
Yeah, they're doing a fundraiser for the church. Our daughter is, and so she's off doing that. But I don't mind the boys coming around.
Beaver Creek Farm Life says, I have plans to move back to the home place and turn the old dairy barn into a shop. I began the first steps this week, a year away. What you are doing there is so helpful in making plans. Beaver Creek Farm, that's awesome.
That would be fun to do a collaboration and go out to Louisiana
Right.
and help with that for even a few months,
Right.
a couple of months or something.
Wow.
And Beaver Creek Farms is absolutely awesome. He's helped us tremendously. He does a lot of things on the side for us, and so that would be a really cool collaboration to do something like that, because that is a really neat property. He gave me the address, and I did a Google Maps and looked at the whole property and the ponds, and it's an old dairy, and that, I think that would be a really, there's so many huge buildings in it. There would be so much to
It has
do.
a lot of potential.
But what it would be fun to do is to go into an old abandoned dairy like that and just find different items and go, wow, you could use this for this and this for that, and start, small, and just make one end of a building into a shop. It would be really cool. It'd be a lot of fun.
Right. Okay, so Alan Ingalls says, I have riveted some powerful magnets to a straight edge for a guide. That's cool. Simplify the credits. Just seeing their names should be good enough for them. We want you to spend your time inventing.
Okay.
All right. Jeff says, I'm working on building a new style outhouse with aircrete wall panels in the pit to make it sealed.
Okay, now that brings me to one of the very next projects that we're going to be doing. In fact, we just laid a little concrete pad for it. We're going to take barrels and make a stack about, I don't know, the barrels are 35 inches. Oh, it'll be close to 20 feet tall. And we're going to take a cardboard liner and put in it, and then pour aircrete around each barrel, and then stack them up. So it'll be a really huge aircrete insulated stovepipe, similar to the stovepipe, but this will be a solar flue to pull air constantly through the shipping container. So we're going to take that 20-foot stack of barrels that's insulated all the way around with aircrete, paint it black, and when the sun first comes up over the mountains, it'll start warming the aircrete, which will create a flue, and it'll start instantly pulling air through the building. Now, the same concept would work really well for an outhouse, because the last thing you want to do on an outhouse is walk in it and have that stench. But if you have a constant flow of air pulling out of the septic sump area, then I've seen some outhouses that have almost no smell at all, and that would be a good idea for that. So stay tuned when we build that.
Dutch NL says, is this stream about bees? Nope. The Beaver Creek Farm Life says, that was a dairy plant. I will be going to Mom and Dad's old place. Oh, okay.
Oh,
Well, we saw the
Oh.
dairy plant.
well, we saw the dairy plant.
So sorry we got confused. Dutch says, I want to build a beehive to support the dying bee population. How do I start?
You know what? Do you think instead of those wooden boxes that rot away and whatnot that they build, I could do some studying on beehives, and I think I could come up with something using aircrete that would be a really good situation that way. I'll have to look into it.
Definitely. Terry Oak says, there's a process called photo etching. Using that, I can etch photos onto glass. Maybe we can do a class photo on the HDU Premiere class. That way you can hang it in the shop. Terry Oaks, that sounds like a really cool idea.
Yeah, that does. Because all we'd have to do is put a sealer on these bricks and then put
And do a glass photo and put it, yeah,
Yeah,
I like that.
yeah, that's cool.
Terry, you have an awesome idea. Jeff says, save the bees. Yes, we need to save the bees, that's for sure. So get thinking about and studying that. baby.
Okay. It is a big area of interest for people, so I
It
think
is.
that would be something that would be a cool way to get a lot of people interested.
And great, I will be watching you. Thank you. Awesome. If you ever have realized by watching us for very long, the creative process takes longer than you think, so be patient.
It does.
But he will figure it out, and he's amazing. All right, so that's the last. Is there anything else you wanted to go over?
No,
We're
I
at
re-
26 minutes.
I really want to get started.
Unframing the cement and everything.
Yeah, I need to pull the forms off the cement. We need to get a pressure washer in here and start spraying it out. I'm not going to put too much pressure right now on the center one. You can see it's still a little wet. We just poured it yesterday. These ones we're standing on and the one just to the far wall, we poured the day before that. So I would, in 7 days it'll have like 40% of its strength, and I think we'll be good to start putting stuff on it. I'm definitely not going to drive the tow motor on it until it's really a lot closer to the 28 days, though.
Right. We don't want to break it right after we just got done doing it. Dutch says, I'm subscribing. Awesome, thank you. Everyone that's on, do you guys mind hitting the like button for us? Terry Oak says, keeping bees in Alaska is hard. It takes forever to make all the tiny parkas and putting them on.
I was like, what bees?
Jeff says, plasma cutter. Plasma cutter. Malbert says, have a great day. Thank you, you too. Tim Fox says, hi, Melanie, darling. Greetings from Kenosha, Wisconsin. I have moved back to the States from Australia, and I am now working in Buffalo Grove, Illinois.
Oh, wow.
Wow. That is pretty cool.
That's where my dad grew
From
up. was in
Australia,
Wisconsin.
that's awesome. And Jeff says, Terry could help be an insulated air key. Awesome. All right. Well, you guys have a wonderful day, and we will see you guys later.
All right, thanks, guys.